And let's get straight to the story that has dominated the back pages since that win for India on Sunday. Australia losing to India by 295 runs in the first test in Perth. Now, I know, Alistair, you'll want to be extremely balanced about this performance from Australia, and you'll probably talk through it, the best of both sides.
Of course I will.
Tell us your verdict.
Well, I was surprised. I was surprised that India have gone there and hammered Australia in what normally is, a very hard place to go and play cricket. Perth. I know it's not the WACA, I know it's the new stadium, but still, historically, Australia don't lose many games there. I thought India was so brave. I thought that first, they win the toss and bat on that wicket. You look there, even though it's only 150 they got, the thought process to say we're going to take Australia on there. We know it's going to be hard, but we think it's going to be hard for both sides only, and then it'll be a one-innings game. I think most captains would have bowled first, and I probably would have done, and probably got at the end of a bad result like normal in Australia. But Australia, India took it on brilliantly. Bowled. It was just an all-round fantastic performance. You think bowled up 150, you think we're struggling here, but to bounce back. When you've got Bumrah with the new ball on those kind of wickets, he's always going to be outstanding and backed up by team. And just think of how brave they were. They didn't bother playing Ashwin, who's got 500 test wickets. They've kind of played a couple of, not makeshift spinners, but, I thought Ashwin would have been a stand-in. But, great thinking by them. And isn't it nice to see Australia get thrashed?
Well, there'll be more changes in the Indian team than the Australia team, I think, between test matches as well, which shows the strength and depth of Indian cricket. It's terrifying, really, that... Jasprit scored that brilliant 161, but the player that I loved watching, and I think is actually the best player in the world, bar none, at the moment, is Jasprit Bumrah. He is just... He's a joke, honestly. You watch him bowl and you just think, I'm glad that I don't have to strap my pads on.
We saw this celebration enough there, but it's more enjoyable against Australia than England, certainly. And Sledgey Mitchell-Starc saying, at a certain stage, I think he wasn't on 100, he wasn't on anything on a major score, but he's telling me you're bowling slow. And I faced Mitchell-Starc, and he certainly doesn't bowl slow. And if he was bowling slow, I'd keep my mouth shut and not wind him up, but have the confidence to do that as a 22-year-old. I think he scored the most runs as any Indian player after 15 test matches at the top of the order, which I'll keep saying it, no one else believes me, is the hardest place to bat.
What a classy player he is.
There is an air of uncertainty about their top order, which is unusual. Normally, you expect, how many runs has Steve Smith, Labuschagne scored against England in the past. I will throw something in there, which is they're only 1-0 down in a series. They go to Adelaide now, which is a pink ball test match. They've got a great record in the pink ball test, and suddenly 1-1 looks very different. But I do know this Indian side have certainly got that edge in major parts in terms of Bumrah and Shiraz with the new ball against a weaker top order against Australia. It's a nice advantage to go and have. And if they get a bit of luck and get those guys bowling with a pink ball under floodlights in that dusk, again, Australia could suddenly be 2 down in the series, and that's a long way back.
Yeah, and the Bumrah, if we just think back to those deliveries there, and he's pinned them all on the pads straight, which you don't see people pinning Smith, Labuschagne on the pads like that. And that's a mix of his pace and the skill in the build-up to those. In isolation, those wickets look dodgy from the Australians, but it's the skill in being able to get them outside the off-stump by bowling away swingers, and then surprise them with a rapid, big booming in swinger. It's marvellous bowling. I stayed up all night watching him bowl. I can't keep my eyes off him. And, yeah, if he has a good series here, it does England a lot of favours going into next winter as well.